Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm stopping by to talk about faith today because faith is very important. We've heard about faith. You've heard about Moses and Noah and people like that who had great faith. And Christ always spoke about faith, how important it was. And he would draw attention to people who didn't have faith. And he marveled at people who had faith. So it's a very important thing, but people don't know what faith is. People think it's some kind of emotional thing, or they think it's some nebulous pie in the sky thing. I don't even know what they think it is, but faith is something you got to have. And I'm going to tell you today just what it is, or how it begins. See, the source from which, faith is being connected to the source, connected to God, connected to His light. And then by not doubting that, by not doubting Him, by not doubting truth, you remain steadfast in what is true and what is right, and in reality. See, if you see clearly something, then you see it. And no matter what anybody says, you see it. If something is wrong and you strongly see it, then you just know that it is, and no one can say otherwise. Well, so faith is very important because we all know that what we lack. What do we lack? We lack faith. We lack confidence. And we have trouble making a decision. The simplest thing, like, which color of clothes should I wear today? We struggle over it. We don't know. And then we ask somebody else, what should I wear? Which one looks better on me? See, so we don't have much faith in anything. But what the trouble is, we end up placing our faith in the wrong people. And see, whoever can trip you up, whoever can make you doubt, then ipso facto, that's a Latin term, then you put your, if they can make you doubt, then they have superseded your faith. They have taken over and made you, and you doubt. And so now the only place you can place your faith is in them, the very ones who made you doubt. So if you go around and you have faith in this person and that person and this institution and this protocol and this treatment and this guru and this holy person and this book and this teacher and this school, and see what I mean? That is misplaced. You must have faith in your Creator. Now, how do you do that? How do you do that? Well, that's what I'm going to talk about today, right now. So let's begin. See, faith starts with little things, and then it becomes faith in big things. You need to have faith in every aspect of your life. You have to have faith in the right source. But it includes little things. So let's start with the source. See, you have to find the source. You know, if you're walking along and there's a little bit of water trickling down, and then you climb a little higher over the rocks, and let's say you're in a nice mountainy area, and pretty soon there's a little tiny, not even a stream, but a little flow of water, and then you go a little more, and there's a bigger stream, and then all of a sudden, there it is. This huge waterfall is there, or a huge river, and all the little rivulets and all the little streams are just tributaries of the big source. You see what I mean? So, but once you are connected to that source, in both little and big. See, that's what you need. So you got to find the source. Now let's begin. How do you find the source? Well, when you were a little child, you had it. And you still have it, but you've fallen away from it. What is the source? What is the little thing? What is the little trickle of water? The little thing that if you follow it all the way, it'll lead you to the source of the water. It's conscience. It's what you know in your heart. See, what you know in your heart is the best term of all. But we can call it intuition or present sight or foresight. And we can also call it conscience. When you follow what you know in your heart wordlessly, then it protects you and it leads you and it guides you. And you see clearly and you make right decisions. In fact, there's no decision to make. If you see the right way to go, you just go that way. If you see a wrong way and you see that it's wrong, you just don't go that way. You don't even need to know why. You don't know why. There's a dark alley. And you think, well, if I took this dark alley, then I could get to my car faster. But then, no, somehow you know you shouldn't go down that dark alley. Who knows what's there? You don't need to know what's lurking in that dark alley. You don't need to know. All you need to know is your intuition warned you somehow wordlessly, and so you just went around the block in the bright sunshine and everything was fine. So life is that way. For your faith. See, it took Noah, how many, it took over 100 years, didn't it, for Noah to build the ark? Everybody was laughing at him. They said, what are you doing? They thought he was nuts. He had faith. So you can read, isn't it Hebrews, the Epistle to the Hebrews, isn't it chapter 11? What do they call it? The Faith Hall of Fame? Where all of the people had faith. Well, you got to have faith too, just like they did. You have to have that kind of faith all the way. All the way. All the way to the very end. So, when you were a little child, you had your intuition. And you became aware, it became strong when you did something wrong. You got angry at your mommy, or you were mean to your brother or sister, or you stole something from another kid. You felt bad. You knew it was wrong. And if you stole something and you had it hidden, and your mommy or your dad says, well, what have you got there? Nothing. See, you knew it was wrong to steal. You knew it was wrong to hate somebody or to be mean to somebody. And when you saw other people being mean or being cruel, you knew it was wrong. That's your intuition. And when you stray from it, it feels like conscience. And so what do you do with your conscience? What do you do with your conscience? You do something wrong. Let's say now, you're impatient with your child. You're phony. You become resentful, and then you become negative. And somebody comes up, good morning, leave me alone. See, super negative. Then afterwards, when you recover from your bout of emotion, you are aware of the fact that you blew it. You were out of order. Just see it. Just see it. Don't resent seeing it. That's your worst mistake. Don't resent seeing your error. Just see it. Bear a little bit of pain or a little bit of embarrassment for seeing you're wrong, and then continue with your life, with your business. Now, once in a while, you can clear the air. You can go to the person and say, hey, you know what? I was impatient and rude. That was wrong, and I apologize. You can do that. But don't go crawling after them. Oh, can you forgive me for being mean? No. You don't want to put them in the role of God. Simply clear the air. What I did was wrong. I'm sorry. I apologize. And then leave it at that. Then go about your life. But for the most part, it's totally private. You see your little mistakes, your little errors, your little impatiences, your little resentments, your little angers, your little judgments. You see it, see them, and you know that they're wrong. Well, that's faith. I'm going to give you a little example, and I think you'll understand what faith is. Just so you can see how subtle it is, how delicate it is. But that's the beginning. Remember I said if you see a little trickle of water and then you follow it and there's a little stream and then there's a bigger stream and then there's a bigger flow of water and finally there's this huge waterfall. That's the source of the water. So, no, I won't give you the example right now. I'll just say it again. When you were a little child, you had your conscience. If you had stayed with it all the way, if you had made little boo-boos, we all make little boo-boos. You made little boo-boos, you saw the boo-boo, you were sorry, and you went on. You would have been safe, and you would have grown to be a very noble person, to be a Ruth or a Noah or a Paul or Albert Einstein. But you doubted it. That's right. And how did you doubt it? Well, first of all, you became resentful and judgmental. And when you're judgmental, see, judgment is mine, said the Lord. When you're judgmental, what happens is you form a judgment, and that judgment therefore replaces discernment. After you make a judgment about someone, it's very hard for you to set it aside and simply discern the person without the judgment. See? So judgment is a big mistake, because when you judge, discernment goes out the window. And discernment is part of having faith, to be able to see reality, see things as they are. That's a great gift. All right, so now I said there were two ways when you were a little child that you were aware of well, actually three. So the first way was when you did something wrong and you knew it was wrong. That was your conscience. The other way, you knew this source. See? That's the beginning of faith. When you were a little child, if you did something wrong and you knew it and you felt bad, well, you're connected to the source. Conscience is from God. It's your closest link to God. See? So he was still there. You disconnected temporarily when you did something wrong, and he's still there, and he allows you to reconnect with him, you see. So now let's continue with our discussion of faith. The other way, when you were a little child, that you knew this source, was sometimes something restrained you. You were about to do something that was dangerous, something very foolish. It restrained you. Or you were about to do something that seemed okay. You know, you were going to say, well, let me just walk across the street and go say hi to Joe. Or go say hi to Mary. But somehow you were restrained. You just couldn't, you just didn't walk across the street. Or something diverted your attention, and then you didn't walk across the street and you were safe. You were about to walk across the street, and here comes a giant truck careening down the street with no brakes, going 50 miles an hour. And you were safe. It protected you. See, other times, the example I used to give a long time ago, I should start using it more because it's one that everybody can relate to. It's 10 o'clock at night and you get a text message from your friends. Hey, Joe got a car, and there's 5 of us. We're going out for a ride. You want to go? Somehow you know it's not a wise thing to do. It's not wise to get in that car and go with them. No, I don't think so. Oh, come on, what's the matter? You got to go. Come on. No. Oh, come on, what's the matter? Then you make an excuse, but this is a good excuse. Well, I got homework to do, or my mom says I'm not supposed to go. I'd like to go, but I can't. But somehow you knew you shouldn't do it. And then guess what? Something awful happened to those people in that car out at late at night. You see what I mean? Those teenagers in the car. So you were much better not to go, not to get in the car. You understand? So that was your intuition. And luckily, you did have faith in it. They tried to make you doubt, didn't they? They said, come on, get in, it's fun. Let's go have some fun. Maybe they came to your house after they texted you. Somebody in the car said, come on, let's go get her. So they arrived at your house. They knocked on your door. Hey, come on, let's go. We're having a good time. Everybody was out there. Come on. No, I'm not feeling well. I think I'd like to go, but I can't. And you don't go because you trusted what you knew in your heart wordlessly. And then whatever bad thing happened, you weren't a part of it. You were saved from it. You see? Now, sometimes God arranges things so that nothing bad will happen, and you don't really know about it in terms of your intuition or conscience. You know, there's all of a sudden you got a flat tire, so you can't go, and then you fix the flat tire and you go 2 hours late. And 2 hours earlier, there was a tornado that swept across the road that you were going to be going on. You see what I mean? So he fixed it. He arranged it so that you were okay. But now you understand what faith is. It's faith in that little thing. In your mind, you ask somebody a question and they say, well, I'm sorry, I don't know the answer. You're at the store. You ask someone there, one of the employees, can you tell me where your shopping bags are located, where I can buy some plastic bags? Oh, I don't know. And then in your mind, there's a voice that says, what's the matter with you? You're working here. You're so stupid you don't even know the answer to a simple question. You hear that in your mind. But you know that it's not right. You know that that's a wrong thought. And so you actually know it's not even your thought. Who knows how it got there, but you just dismiss it. Now, that's also faith. See? You can see what's not right, and you just don't go along with it. So you see how simple life is? You trust your intuition. Trust your gut. Trust your hunches. How many times have you heard that? But you have to do it in the little things. Little tiny things. Trust what is shown to you, or what you know wordlessly. And not only, it will lead you in the most delicate, wonderful way. Einstein was, sitting on the streetcar and he was looking at the clock tower. The clock tower. And he made a wonderful discovery, didn't he? He understood something about relativity. So there's little things. You see a little dirt devil. You watch, you're walking along and there's leaves swirling. Why do the leaves swirl? Then you look at the hurricane. And you look at the gyroscope, a wheel spinning. And you look at your dryer, and it spins around and round and round, and the clothes cling to the outside. And you notice these little things, and then all of a sudden, oh, I see. I get it. You have an insight. See, little things. Well, I'm going to stop now with this. I think I've made a very good point. I was talking about your conscience, how important conscience is. And so important, and that's faith. So when you always trust what you know in your heart, then it will serve you well in little things, and then later also in big things. Little things and big things. So I am now going to play some pre-recorded programming that I made for you, and I think you'll enjoy